Hey guys, Dylan from Noble Records coming at you with another heavy rotation video. Haven't done one of these in a month. My original goal was to do one every week, and I never get around to it. And also, lately the past few months, I've not been buying at such a volume where I could do one every week. I'm getting just a few records a week now. It's never. Sometimes some weeks go by and I don't get anything. So some of the stuff in this stack are stuff I've just gotten. Some of the stuff is stuff I've had. I'm just enjoying. I think that's a huge part of it for me. Like I'm kind of getting to the point to where I'm stalling out on stuff that I'm looking for because I have a lot of stuff already. And I am right now just enjoying a lot of the things that I already have, which is a good place to be. But you could collect and buy records every day for your whole life, and there's still stuff you want. So I still have stuff I want. I'm still getting stuff, and the majority of the stack is stuff I've recently bought within the past month. So I got some really good stuff. I'm excited. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I have my number one want on my list. I got it, but it's not in this stack. It's in the mail. It should arrive very soon, but it's my number one most wanted record, and it is on its way. So I might do a standalone video for that one. It's so cool. But anyways, I'll let you know. But I would say number two was this one right here on top of the stack. This one, it's not that it isn't a very expensive record, but depending on who you are, I guess. It's not my most expensive record or anything like that, but they're just impossible to find, and that is Lee Moses' Time and Place. This has been at the top of my want list for years and years and years. The top has been Fraction Moonblood, got it. Farm, got it. Randy Holden, Population 2, Josephus. All that stuff has been like at the tip top of my want list. Turquoise Zeppelin. I'm just looking at my wall, those things that I have. July, that one was at the top of my list for years and years. But this one has eluded me as far as like soul, funk type stuff is considered. This one is amazing. If you like rock, you would like this record. If you like soul, you'd like this record. If you like funk, you'd like this record. It is amazing. Lee Moses, I used to say, which I don't really know that this is a great comparison, but I would say Lee Moses was a mix between Jimi Hendrix and Otis Redding. I mean, fantastic guitar player, incredible soul vocals. I mean, his vocal is like, it's almost like, Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, tip top stuff. I mean, this is one of those records you put on start to finish. You're just like, oh my God, you're entranced by it. It is so good. And you got like Funkadelic Maggot Brain. That is more, it has more of a rock groove than anything. This one's got more of a funk groove, but it's got those really killer guitar licks, the drums. It's just so good, highly sought after. Everybody wants it for samples and all. Any DJ would want this record, but it's on Maple. But a friend of mine had one, and he's the only guy I knew that had one. And I was like, dude, if you ever want to sell that record, please let me know. I mean, it is up there for me. And he's like, I'm never gonna sell it, blah blah. You know how it is. And then he had something come up that he was saving up for or whatever, and he was like, hey, I think I'll sell it. So he kicked me a price. I didn't even negotiate. I just paid it. It was just this is a nice shape, great price on it, really good buddy it came from. So this, if you haven't heard this Lee Moses Time and Place, there's reissues of this that are available. Can't remember what label did them, but very very tip top stuff. I love this record so much. So it was at the top of my list. Really wanted it. Another one that was up there for me was Tool Undertow. This is one of the promo copies. It's an original 93 press promo copy on gray. The originals came on a gray and a clear. I had a clear vinyl copy. Maybe, let's see, what year is it now? 12 or 13 years ago. I've told you guys about this collection before, but there was a guy in Asheville that had a collection, and he had a bunch of 90s stuff, and he would let me dig for $5 a record. And I got like so many Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Temple the Dog, like just killer grunge 90s alternative classics for $5 each. And at the time, I didn't really care that they were worth money because I was just enjoying them. And I had this record, The Undertow, and it was on clear vinyl. And I listened to it once, and I was like, ugh. At the time, it was a little aggressive for me. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know, man. Because in the 90s, I mean, this came out, I was 5 years old. So I wasn't into it when I was 5. So I was revisiting some stuff, and I was just like, I just don't think I'm a Tool guy. And then over the years, I've become a Tool guy. I've my tastes have evolved to that point where I really, really, really love this record. And so I found myself kicking myself that I got rid of it, because I put it on eBay. I can't remember how much I sold it for. I think I sold it for like $150 back then, and now these go for a lot more than that. And so I've been looking for one. Of my friend, shout out to Bearded Vinyl, a buddy of mine that has a shop, Brandon, in Florida. He got this in, and I think he let his locals have first grab at it, but he ended up letting me buy it from him. So really nice guy. Really, he's got a new shop. Really, really cool dude. And yeah, I like him a lot. Okay. Another one is the Doors LA Woman UHQR. All right, everybody's talking about it. It's a big scuttlebutt around the vinyl community. So I'm not going to do the whole thing where I'm giving a shootout between the 45 and this is a 33 RPM and all that stuff. I've always said I'm not an audiophile, but if you look at my gear and the records I have, I guess I am. But I'm not like, I know I can hear something and know if I like the way it sounds better than something else, but I don't have, really, just be honest with you, the vocabulary or I don't know as much is in that field as like Mike from the In-Groove or Michael Fremer or anybody like that. I'm not going to review something if I'm not an expert in the field. But I will say on this, I love the new boxes that they did. So they did a different box. So the other UHQRs, they have that round, like the classical box, that's that spine, what do they call it? I can't remember. But I like this box the same. I mean, I like the other ones a lot too, but these are slimmer, and I am running out of space on my UHQR shelf. I have them all the UHQRs. But anyways, but I do have the 45 RPM 2LP of this, and everybody's saying, well, did it need the UHQR treatment, blah, 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 whatever. The draw to this is that the vinyl is that super vinyl. It's incredibly quiet. They didn't do that. I mean, I think they did like less than 5,000 copies of this. I can't remember. But I think they might still have some in stock. This is a really great sounding. I love LA Woman. It's my favorite Doors record. And when I got this and finally got some time to sit down and listen to it, I sat down. There's nobody in the house. I was alone. That's how I do my UHQRs. It's a ritual. You know what I mean? I pull them out. I sit down. I have a sweet spot in my room that's like the perfect trifecta of all the speakers. And I sit there and I might have a cup of coffee, but I have the lights off and I turn them on and I really intentionally listen to the record, and it was just magnificent. And when Riders on the Storm comes on, I'm sitting there and I could feel it. I'm like, oh my gosh, the thunder is unbelievable. And then I realized there was a thunderstorm going on outside, but I was like, what the heck? How did Chad do this? But he is a wizard and a miracle worker. But anyways, maybe we could come up with some sort of component with these audiophile records to where you could feel like you could have some sort of machine that would go in your room that you could feel the vibrations. Anyways, I guess that's a sub. Whatever. It's a fantastic sounding record. It wouldn't have surprised me if somehow he had engineered the weather to improve my listening experience. Everything they do over there is great. But yeah, tremendous sounding record, obviously. I rant and rave about Analog Productions. Love that label and everything they do. Okay, so keep going. I've had this for many years. This is the JPT Scare Band. Stuff recorded in the 70s from Texas. Mind-blowing acid. The label's from Texas. Monster Records is from Texas. But mind-blowing, I would just call it acid rock. I mean, it's got that Jimi Hendrix-esque univibe, super fuzz, incredible guitar, like a progressive Jimi Hendrix effect, but harder rock, but that has those vibes, you know what I'm saying? But JPT Scare Band, they scared people, I guess. That's why they named it that. But this is the original, Monster Records, which is has morphed into Rockadrome. But in the 90s, they were called Monster Records. They did these, this is a silkscreen cover. So I've had this for a long time. With the silkscreen cover, they're handmade. I don't know how many of these there are. Like, I want to say maybe like a couple hundred or 100. I can't remember. But these are hard to find with the covers. Super, super rare. And I've had that for a long time. And that is, in that genre, just one of my absolute favorites. I mean, it's got the DIY effect with the jackets and everything. But then also, it's just so heavy. It's just so good. If you like guitar stuff. But this was like a test pressing, or a test pressing or a promo. It's got blank labels, so I'm going to call it a test pressing. I don't know if it is or if it's not. And they did this different effect with the covers. And as far as I know, there's only 5 of these with this cover. And I got one. A buddy of mine hooked me up with one. And it is super, super cool. I'm not one to collect multiple copies of something, but I love this album so much, and that is just a wicked, wicked cover. I think I've showed this before. Obviously, Donnie and Joe Emerson, Dreamin' Wild. The reason I'm showing this is that there's a movie, I believe it's called Dreamin' Wild, and it's got Casey Affleck in it. It's got a couple other people you'd recognize. Anyways, but it's a really, really good movie. A lot of times these, I call them like biopic, I guess is what they call them. But it's like a movie based on like a true story or something like this. In the movie, it kind of, the movie is based in like 2010-ish, when Light in the Attic discovered this record and tracked these guys down and met them and like signed a contract with them, and how their life changed. And it went back and told the story of how everything happened, and then it went forward to tell the story of where their lives went from there. It is an incredible movie, even if you don't like records. Like, my wife doesn't give a crap about records. She loves me, and so she puts up with it, obviously. She has, she supports me and everything I do. Obviously, all that stuff goes without saying. But her interests do not align with mine. She does not care about records at all. But here's what I did. I had this record. And obviously, I don't tell her about records because she doesn't care. But I had this record, and I saw Dreamin' Wild on, I think it was on, I don't know if it was on Netflix or Amazon or something. And I was like, I ain't going to let her watch the movie and trick her into liking this record. Okay. I didn't even know it was going to be a good movie. I was like, it might not be good. I don't know. And so we sat and watched the movie, and she really loved it. She really, so after the movie, it was like, I walked in my room and grabbed this, and I walked out and showed it to her, and she goes, the first time I ever got a jaw drop from her about a record, and she picked it up and she looked at it, and she really appreciated the history behind this record. After watching the movie, she was like, wow. I mean, she couldn't believe I had it, you know? And it was very cool, but I was trying to trick her a little bit into liking records. It didn't work. I don't think she likes them, but she likes that one. She thought that was really, really cool just because of the story. Ooh, what is this? Joy Division, Ideal for Living. I will say this is not my record. It's probably the first time I've ever shown a record that it doesn't belong to me. This belongs to a friend of mine. We're swapping and trading, and he was looking for one of these, and I knew somebody who had one or whatever. Long story. I ended up tracking this one down for him, and this is going to be going out in the mail to him. But how can you not show it, you know? Super rare Joy Division. Yeah, I will probably listen to it and wish I kept it, but I the record that I'm getting from him is amazing. So another one I got from Bearded Vinyl is this Black Octopus, Paul Jackson. I had this record, but this one was cleaner and better. The one I had some like a little bit of water damage on the cover, a little bit, not too terrible. But this one doesn't. And so I'm a nerd about that stuff. And this is also such a hard record to find. Only released in Japan. You know, Paul Jackson from, he played in Headhunters, Herbie Hancock Headhunters. Amazing, amazing stuff. I love this record. You don't ever hear anybody talk about it. I don't know if it's even been reissued. It's fantastic. But again, only made in Japan, so really tough to find. I couldn't believe you had it. So I'm putting mine in our anniversary sale. So if you're around October 5th, we do our anniversary sale every year, which is not really a sale. It's just like we do a huge drop of crazy rare stuff. I got so much insane stuff that's going out October 5th. It's going to blow people's minds. I mean, I've got like both versions of the Ngozi family 45,000 volts. There's 2 different versions. I got both of them going out. I've got several different Zamrock records. I've got some really rare krautrock, prog rock, psych rock stuff. All my doubles throughout the year, I stockpile them. And then on the anniversary, I put them out. And this is our 5th anniversary. So we can have a special t-shirt that you can only get from us that day that commemorates our 5-year anniversary for the shop. It's going to be a blast. Huge. October 5th. This is one that I've been looking for a long time. The Apostles. Great band. This is some like African psychedelic funk. Some of their stuff is, you know, a lot of these African bands, they did some like psychedelic and funk stuff that was really killer in the 70s. On into the 80s, they did like some disco funk stuff. If it gets a little bit too boogie funk for me, I'm out, you know. But this doesn't. This one's really good, psychedelic funky. My son is watching a very loud movie in the other room, so I don't know if you can hear that, but that's what that is. If you hear some theatric noises. Another one is the Comrades, Mr. Love. Another one. It's on this Clover label. The Clover label is killer. Another one. Psychedelic, funky, African stuff. Really good. Been looking for both of those for a long time. And then this one. Holy smokes. Been looking for this one. I've got an original of this already. This is Museo Tunya, one of the Zamrock staples. I mean, they're incredible band. A lot of great Zamrock musicians came out of Museo Tunya. Ricky Illalonga, Paul Ngozi played with them. Anyways, ton of them. But this record, I had one already, but my copy was trashed. Really, really, really not a great copy. And this one, my friend, he sold me the Lee Moses, and he had this. And he's like, it's in really great shape. This is unreal how clean this is. I mean, for a Zamrock record, it has a couple of hairlines, but beautiful, beautiful shape. So I'm trying, now that I have every Zamrock record, I'm trying to upgrade them all to clean copies, because about half of them I could really live with a better copy. You know what I mean? There's another one called Wisdom. The band is called Wisdom. The record's called Dreamer. I believe that's it. It's from Charlotte. So look at these. They got a van. Really killer. But it's a gospel funk band from Charlotte. Well, from Gastonia. So it's the same thing as Charlotte. But yeah, look at these just amazing pictures on the back. But yeah, I've been looking for this record for a long time. And somebody walked in the shop with it the other day. I mean, obviously they knew what it was. They knew what they had. And so we had to arm wrestle a little bit over it, but I ended up getting it. It's in the shrink. Really great in that gospel funk vein. A great one. I'm getting a little bit long-winded today. I need to hurry this up a little bit. With that being said, I'm really excited about Yezda Urfa is a record that we have coming out. I should have grabbed it off the wall, but there's only like, I think there was only like 3 known pictures of the band from back in 1975 when the album came out. And so I've been really struggling because I'm doing the inner sleeve stuff for it. I make the inners. Like if you have Underground Fire, the booklet that came with it, I made that. So that's kind of the part that is interesting and a learning curve for me, is I'm having to go in and like, there's an 8-page booklet that I designed on my computer. But you know, all the pictures that you have, you put in there, and then there's an interview, so you have to kind of lay everything out. I have very rudimentary graphic design skills, but I can do enough to do that. And but the thing is, like with a label, is you have to track down pictures and anything. Because when I put this record out, I want it to be like, this is it. This is definitive. Like, this is all the pictures we have. This is all the information we have. This is the whole story of the record. This is a time capsule of what you need to know about this record. Like, this is it. You know what I mean? Like a full scale thing. And so I'm talking to the guys in the band, and nobody has anything. Nobody has any pictures, and the ones they do have are like really grainy, and they've been, you know, copied several times, so they're not like really great quality. So I was getting kind of frustrated about it, and I kind of pushed pause on that. I was making the insert, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait and see if I can find anything else. And then that day, one of the guys that was in the band who played keyboards and stuff, his name's Phil, he called me and we talked on the phone, and he's like, I think I have a box of stuff, like a shoebox full of stuff. He sent me so many pictures. I am so thrilled, like crazy good pictures that have never been circulated. No one's ever seen them. And so anyways, that's the kind of thing that kind of gets me amped up about the label. So the Underground, or the Yezda Urfa insert is going to be amazing, because it's going to be all the stuff that no one's ever seen before. But our exclusives, quick moment to mention, Wizard. This is an incredible record. Last time I saw a copy for sale, it was $1,000, and someone bought it very quickly. It is a really, really hard record to find the original for. This is our splatter vinyl variant of it. One of my absolute favorite obscure hard rock guitar records. Amazing. We only have, I mean, we have some left, but they're on our website. So if you want one, they will sell out. I'll pin the link to our website in the comments, and then I'll put it in the description of this video, all that stuff. But Wizard, if you don't have this, I highly recommend it. That color you can only get from us. It's an exclusive from our store. We also have a few more. Samuel Prody, another one, really great heavy prog stuff. This one, we only have like 20 copies of this left, and then it's gone forever. Power of Zeus. If you haven't heard this record, it's unbelievable. It's on that Noble yellow. But it's through Ancient Grooves Records. A good buddy of mine, Adam, that owns that label. This is real heavy hard rock stuff, tip-top notch. They had another record on Rare Earth. This was a studio master tape that they found that had never been released, and it's incredible if you don't have it. Another one is Horse. This one is really, really good, like Deep Purple, Black Sabbath sound and stuff. It's on green vinyl. It's our exclusive. That's on the website too. This one, Homer, is unbelievable. Hard rock record. It's got pedal steel guitars. It's on that voodoo color vinyl, the same color we did with Orangutan. But this is a great one. It will sell out too. And these are $1,000 if you can get an original as well. This one is Short Cross Arising. It's a hard rock record from Virginia. Really killer stuff. That's our color vinyl version of it as well. And then we have the Underground Fires. The pinwheel already sold out. We do have a few black vinyl left, not many. We have the Subterranean Inferno color, which some of it has more red, some of it has more yellow. They're all handmade, so they're different colors. And then the red and white splatter, which is my personal favorite. I love that red and white splatter, but this has been kind of our whole mission the past year, trying to put this record out. I could not be more pleased with the quality. It's really, really, really good. High quality sleeve, inserts, everything is top notch. So anyways, that's just my plug to you guys. Really excited about all that stuff, but that's kind of what keeps us going. As far as like, we have basically two sides of the business. One's the brick and mortar, and another one is kind of online, the exclusives, the label, stuff like that. So just trying to keep the machine well oiled. This one, Aunt Mary Loaded. This is a fantastic record. I've had this for a long time. Listened to this the other day. Really hard, raw, great guitar work, all that stuff. So this one is really good. It's called Loaded. And then this one's called Janus, which was, it only came out on that Spaceship Vertigo. Came out 73 in Norway. But this is a little bit, this is not quite as hard, has less guitars in it, but it has a lot of organ. Really good, heavy prog, great stuff. It's a very hard record to find, but I listened to those two the other day. Really enjoyed them. This Neil Young Dead Man, I had this in my Purge box. I was going to sell it. Then I looked it up, and like lately in my old age, like I've always liked movies, you know what I mean? But I've never been like a cinephile, you know, where I'm like, but lately I've been watching a lot of movies. I've been getting more into classics and stuff like that, and really kind of appreciating that art form more. I think that movies are an incredible, it's an incredible art form that can um, make you feel a certain way. You know what I mean? It can really invoke a lot of emotions. But yeah, so I think like in movies are the same as music in the way that like everybody loves music. A lot of music is like across the board. You know, the Beatles, and most people like the Beatles. Most people like, you know, Pink Floyd or whatever. So that's there's a lot of movies that are across the board. You know, a lot of people, they like Shawshank Redemption. Everybody loves it, whatever. But then there's all these weird movies that you kind of have to have a certain taste for. Anyways, it's a whole nother world. But this one is more like a soundtrack. I mean, Neil Young, it is a soundtrack, but it has like quotes from the movie, sound clips from the movie, but it has really cool that 90s Neil Young feel. That guitar styling that he had in the 90s is just incredible. So I did keep this. I listened to it. I'd never listened to it before, and it was really great. This is another one from Analog Productions. It's Chico Freeman, Spirit Sensitive. The Jazz Bums, they were interviewing Chad Cassim, and he talked about that this was coming out. So it's kind of on my radar. I buy everything they put out anyways, but so I was kind of looking forward to it, and finally cracked it up and listened to it the other day. Fantastic record. This is a beautiful gatefold, really thick. I mean, now that I own a label, looking at what it cost to make this record, like, this is super high quality. It's $40 on their website. I mean, great, great, great. Or we have them in the store. We stock them in the store. But yeah, in our brick and mortar. But their website is $40 for this record. A high quality reissue like this is a good deal in my eyes. But yeah, it's a gatefold, really super thick sleeve. I finally got around to listening to Billy Strings Live Volume 1. This is the Billy Strings for me. I love Billy Strings. He just came out with a new studio record. I don't know if I'll be as into that as I am into this type of stuff. But this is the live, like, he had an exclusive on his website with the splatter vinyl, blah, 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 blah. I think he copied my Stonewall exclusive, personally. Just kidding. He doesn't know I exist. The live Billy String stuff, that's my vein for, it's just more raw. Oh, man, how about just not talking about this Bull Run? Amazing. I've talked about this before. It's on Peppermint Records. I was on the phone yesterday with Anthony, he runs Peppermint Records, and he also plays in the War on Drugs. But same funny connection. A lot of people don't know that, I think. But I didn't know he played in the War on Drugs. And I was talking to him yesterday. He's like, "Yeah, I'm on tour with my band." And I was like, "Oh, cool. What is it called?" He's like, "War on Drugs." I was like, "Oh, really?" I know of them. But anyways, but Ancient Greece did an exclusive with them, and it's brown vinyl, really cool. And then he had like a booklet that I think I think these pictures are only from Ancient Greece. So really, really cool stuff that he put out. I think that's his first exclusive that he's ever done. But great stuff. If you've not heard this record, it's an unearthed, super heavy hard rock record that they found the tapes for. Really, really great stuff. I got another copy of Witch Introduction. The cover of this one is tanked. I have a really, really nice cover, but the disc on this one's pretty nice. So I have 2 copies of this. Well, I have like 4 copies of this now, but one of them will be going out on our anniversary. You guys, this Master of Reality that I got is unbelievable. It's got the poster. The disc is near mint. Cleanest copy I've ever seen in my life. The first 4 Black Sabbath records, I'm just always hunting for cleaner copies. All right, we're getting the end there. Here's another African record. The Jadu Sisters, Danger. This one I've been after for a long, long time. It's not like a super expensive record or anything like that, but just really, really killer Nigerian funks type of stuff. Look at this, guys. This is 9 Inch Nails. Downward Spiral. This is an original press. It's got that parental advisory. That's a sticker. So it's an original first press. I think it's a promo. It is. Someone walked in the shop with it the other day with a bunch of like really rare grunge records, and they wanted a fortune for them. And you know, this particular person comes to the shop every once in a while, and it starts up here, and then we somehow get to. So he had this. He had the Alice in Chains three-legged dog, self-titled. We got that, so that'll be on the anniversary sale. But anyways, got a bunch of really killer grunge stuff from him, and this one I didn't have, and I was like, man, I took it home, and I was like, I've never seen one of these before. It's so cool, and I know it's such an iconic record. So I was like, I really want to think about if I'm going to sell this or not, because I don't have it, and it's really iconic, and everybody rants and raves about it, and I just don't like it, man. I don't know what it is. I cannot get into this. It breaks my heart, really, because I want to feel that, that everybody talks about how great it is, and I'm not going to keep a record just because it's rare. I'm not going to do that. I would rather someone crap their pants in the store over this record and go home with it and love it to death than me be, complacent about owning this incredible. So it's an original. It'll be going on our anniversary sale. I tried. Maybe down the road I'll like it. I just don't get it. I'm sorry. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Okay. PJ Harvey, Rid of Me. This is the type of thing I have listened to PJ Harvey over the years, and especially like this, her first record I really like. I've always liked. This one's kind of I've not always loved it, but this is a reissue. It came in the shop, although I don't really know if there's any originals of this. I don't know. And I listened to it, and I was like, I'm going to revisit that one again, and I really do like it. So I'm going to keep this. I've been listening to this a lot the past few weeks. Just really, really good. And then the last thing I want to go into is this label Bird Box. They sent me a box of records. I don't do like, reviews and stuff like that. But if people send me records, I'll listen to them and I'll try to mention them in my heavy rotations. But they have this Umberto Fiorentino and Claudio Corradino. I can't pronounce that, but that's what it is. These are pressed in Italy. These are autographed and everything, numbered. But I think they have them on their website and all that stuff. But really good, like audiophile grade jazz stuff. So this is like a jazz guitar, acoustic. Most of it's kind of like acoustic jazz guitar. This, I really like this. This is a 45 RPM. Really great stuff. So there's this one, and then there's the first one. I think, this is Anamorphy. I can't speak different languages, guys. But this is on blue vinyl. These are all numbered and everything. But this is a really cool one as well. But like dueling jazz guitar. And if you have like a really good stereo sitting right in the middle, you got one over here, one over there, and it's just like really, really cool. And then this one here is Cristiano Giardini, Odessia. This is more of like this is all like contemporary jazz stuff. This is like a full jazz band type thing. A little bit more on the, I wouldn't call it like avant-garde, but it's a little bit looser, you know what I mean? I love it. It's like right, it's weird, but not too weird for me. It's really right in the right spot. It's got enough like of a traditional vibe to it, and then it has a little bit of crazy in it that I really like. But I really enjoyed this as well. This was recorded in 2023, so it's modern. But all this stuff is analog, really cool, great quality stuff, quiet vinyl, all that stuff. So this has been too long of a video, but thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys are doing well. I've not been making a lot of videos lately. I've just been really slammed, really swamped. I've had a lot going on, but hopefully as the school year starts with my kids and everything kind of falls back into place, and I can kind of structure things a little bit better to have more time. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.